What if you could create and post professional quote images to your social media every day without you lifting a finger? In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how this can be done in the best way possible. We're going to be using very simple tools. We're going to be using n8n, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, or if you're not familiar with it, you should have an idea on how it works. We're going to also be using Airtable to store our data and using templated.io. This is where we'll be generating our templates from. We're going to be talking about two examples here. One is going to be for certificate generation for different people, in the sense that if you're a person that has a course and you want to give out 50 or more certificates to different, should I use the word, participants on your course, you already have a very simple way this can be automated that you can send it across 50 different people, and all you just need to do is change the name or the date or whatever it is you want in your design. Second example is going to be your professional quote image generator, which you can use for social media, just like when you're having an automated quote that's been generated by AI into an image, and then you can post it on your social media. So you don't need to do all this, and it gets to run every day. My name is Daniel. I am an AI automation specialist, and I help businesses build up their productivity and efficiency through the means of automation. Without wasting too much time, let's get started on the automation. Okay, so let's get started on the whole thing. So the first thing we'll have to do is to go to templated.io, which is what we'll be using today to generate the template for both the certificate and the social image posting. So I'll first talk about some of the pricing and some of the whole thing stage by stage. So okay, first off, you go to templated.io. So it brings you a sign up using your Google account, and then you sign in or sign up using your Google account. Then once you're done, you can create a new template that you can start off. So once you come here, you come to create templates, then you click on create template. So you can either start from scratch and make a blank template. You can import from PDF. You can import from Canva, but for these two, you need to be on the pro plan, that is on the paid plan, for you to use them. You can use the AI generator, or you can use the template that are there. So the one I use some of the templates. Well, let me just go straight to that point. So this was certificate I used. So I'm talking about, so this is the first one and the second one. Two examples that I talked about. The first example, second example. So let's focus on the first example. But before that, let me talk about the pricing for this. So as you can see, we have per month. You can either do per month or per year. So if you are paying per year, it's basically like $29 per month. That yeah, you pay annually, so it's charged one-time payment annually, or you can $79 annually, 179 annually. But if you are doing it monthly, so that is 39 per month. It's more expensive if you are paying it each month instead of annually. So that is how it works. So you pay it once, you bill it once in a year, or you can pay it once in per month. So basically that's just how it works. Whichever one you feel is better for you, then that is it. So um in case you need a general understanding of this whole thing, it's much more easier. So it's like you're paying 29 times 4 to calculate the total amount per year. Or if you're paying per month, it's $39 per month. Each month you pay $39. So that is how the price works. So let's go back to the templates. So the first one, this is it. So let's open it in editor. So this was the one I chose for it. So when you first see something like this, I changed a few things here, and I'll tell you what I changed. So this is how to duplicate it. So if you have like a course, an online course, or whatever thing you've done, I want to give each and every participant certificate. So you have already designed a certificate. You can decide that you want to design a certificate from Canva, then import from Canva here. But like I said, you need to be on the pro plan to do that. Or you can actually create from scratch. You can design your own how you want the certificate to look like. You can import it to if you want it to look like. So this is mine here that we'll be using for an example. And then we have the name of the person. We have the ones I changed. The one I did is, or the only thing I changed were these are the details, the dates, and the name here, which is mine in here. So these were all the things that I changed for it. So if it's your turn, you can tell that you want to change almost everything here for it. I did not change this because this would always change, and it doesn't remain constant. So the only one I changed it, the one that I want to remain constant. Like after I opened the certificates and open this editor, before it was a font that was here, so I decided to input what I wanted to show here. For the dates, I also inputted this date here, that is 20th of December. That was when I did um, that was when I inputted the whole thing. But this will also change because it should show when the thing is being delivered, and so this will change, and this one remain constant. So basically, the only thing that are changing here is the date. Like so each person, when you are doing it each time, things that change here is the date, the name of the person, and I guess that is actually all. Yes, just name of the person. For each person, the name changes each time you create a new one, and then the date. So basically, that is all for that. So you can design it how you want it to be. So now let's go back to our database where we are storing the whole thing. So first of all, like I said, if you are doing for let's say 500 people or 1,000 participants, and you want each of them to get their certificate after they are done. You just it can be more than it depending on the table you want to use. So I named my table certificates. If you watch my previous video, you see that you understand why the term content tables here and the others ones they're here too. So the name, the data I'm changing, like I said before, is just the name and the dates that I'm changing. So that is why I repeated the whole thing. So we have the name and we have the date. The email address they were sending it to, that's why we repeated it here. So after the name, we have the date and then the email address. You can decide to put maybe a confirmation just to say that okay, it is sent, maybe a tick box or send, depending on what you want. But since it's fair, that's why I made it just this theory. There's so many things you can add to the table. So many things you can add to the table. And if your certificate or whatever you're using for it also have different variables, you can add that here too. The reason why I'm using Airtable it's because I find it much more easier to use. Though Google, I could have used Google Sheet, but it doesn't really matter. Both are still the same thing. But I just find I'm just used to Airtable. That's most of my time every day. If I'm using Airtable because it's something I'm quite used to when I'm making an automation. So basically that's how you do it. I'm sure you already know how to create a new field. You just click on here, you click on the field and all that. And then to get to access token, I've explained this in almost all my videos because since I'm using Airtable, I've explained how to actually get an Airtable token. So I would not really dive into that here. I don't really want to waste too much time there. So you come here and then you go to buildup, you go to access token, you create your token, and then the table, the base, and all that, and then you're done. And that is it. So you get your access token, and that is all for that. So the next thing is to that is basically you should do first before starting. Like I said before, want to send the certificates to let's say 1,500 depending on what you want for this thing. So okay, so let me explain how the workflow runs. So we have the execute workflow, which you can actually use to start the workflow. That it has to be manual. That means you need to come into the workflow to execute it manually. Or you could use a schedule trigger. That means you can schedule the trigger in the sense that you can use a schedule trigger. Let me show you how to do that. Yeah, you just you can use the schedule trigger. I use it in the second example, which I'll still show you, which is this one here. So the next thing you need to do is um, use your start record on Airtable. So let me show you how that works. So I've already explained how to use Airtable in my previous one of my previous videos, so I'll not really dive into it. And the reason why we're not filtering anything this time because we're getting everything once. So I want you to return everything because it's just a list of individuals that we're sending it to. So I don't need to filter anything. I just want you to return all and send it to everybody that's on that list. So if you have like a batch of let's say certificate that you need to give people. Let's say there's a batch A, there's a batch B, batch A is this week, batch B is next week, or I don't know how it wants to be done. You cannot filter maybe based on batch, based on date and all that. So, but for this, since it's just one person and for tutorial, and basically I did for a one listing, I'm sending to like if 500 to 1,000 people once. I don't need to use a filter. I just use one. So once you input your access token here, this is the input access token. Once that is done, you use the search operation. You select from the days. I have two days and I use this first one, and then I have like 45 tables, and then the table that this one is on is another certificate table, and that is it. So return also. Let me show you how it works for that. So yeah, so as you can see, this is it here. We have the name of it just like it was on the table there. So without wasting too much of our time, let's continue the whole thing. So the reason why I use this data time here, I noticed that when I was using it into the template, template.io, I'll just call it template here, into the certificate template, it wasn't, the right format wasn't there. So even though it's showing here 25 total 26, it wasn't coming out in the right order. So that was the reason why I had to format it again for it to work, because when it was coming out, it wasn't the way I wanted it to come out. I wanted it to come out like this. I'll share an example of how it looks like. So what I did was I just dragged this date here. So it's here, then I chose the format I wanted and it formatted it. So if I should execute that now, it should show what I want. I don't know why it's expecting me to put stop before it shows. I don't know why it's doing like that though. So as you can see, we have December 26th, so that was what I expected, which is the current date for that I used in that table, if you remember. And then we used our template. So how do we get this our API key? Because that's how we can connect our templates here. So for you to get your node, all you just have to do is go to templated. As you can see here, this is it here. Then you click on it and create a render, and that's it. So first of all, you need to install it, so because it's a community node, so you need to install it before you can do anything first. So how do we get our API? Let me show you how we got the API for that. So well, let's say this is it. You just click on, this is how your cover look like. So you click on automate distance list, you click on it, and then you click on integrate using anything or whichever it is, and then you copy this code here. Once you copy this your API key, you come back to your anything, and then you just input it here and save, and that's it. So once you have done that, then you can now choose the template you want. We have two templates, so I chose this one because this is the one that we're trying to correct. So and then we have the layers, which is very important because this is what you're changing. So I'm changing two things. If you remember, I said I'll be changing the text. So how do we know that that is the text? Let me show you. If I come back to like this is what I mean by the text is this name here. That's what we're changing. So if you look at it here, once I click on it, as you can see it here, the name here is name, which is this one here. It's named name. So that is basically what we are changing. And we're also changing um, the dates, which this date here, and then it's named date. So those are the two things we are changing. So if I come here, as you can see, the layer name is date. It's very important that both of them are actually the same thing. Whichever layer you are changing, make sure that it's the same name you are putting here. So as you can see, date is small letter DAT. It's the same thing we have here on the as you can see DAT, the same thing. So make sure that whatever you're changing, the same name you're using for it is very, very important. If not, it will not work. And then I'm not changing. So the date for the text, I just drag the formatted date here. I drag it here, and that was it. So for the next thing I want to do for all this one, I actually did not need it because I'm not changing background or border color or anything like that. I'm not changing anything like that there. So the next thing I did was what else I'm changing is the name. I told you it has to run with that one there. Name. The text for the name is to my item search record. I dragged this name here. Yeah, and that was how I got the name. So that's the only thing I'm changing, as you can see. So now That is all. That's the only two things I'm doing. But if you have more things that you want to change, you can change background color, you can change all of that. You can just put in your code for my color code for color and all that. So basically that's just for it. So next now do is execute the step. So while we're waiting for it to be executed, I think I maybe I need to stop it again just to be sure because I don't know why it's being like that. Okay, yeah. I think I need to do something. I don't know why it's showing like that. So it's completed already, and this is the link here. So if I check the link, you can actually just check the link while still here. So if I check the link here, you'll see that it will bring out the certificate and the name of that, as you can see. The name has changed something Daniel. December and mostly data has changed to so basically that is just from now. Okay, certificate has been done. And the next thing is to connect to the PDF. So I need to convert from the URX PDF, and what I used was PDFco API. That was the one I used for that. If you have any other one, I'm actually looking for a solution for this because I know I tried all that and the pricing were not really that okay with me. If you have any other one that works very fine, I actually appreciate the idea for that. So I use PDFco to actually do this. So for this URL page here, let me drag and drop our render URL, which is what we want to convert from the URL to. So what I did was we already have the node for this. It's also a community node. I think it is. So this is it here. And then all I did was connect it. And how do we get the API key for that? So once you come here, you just go to pdf.co and then sign in or sign up using your Gmail account too. And then you're given a 30 days free trial and you're given a 10,000 credits. As you can see, mine is still 9,987 while you're given a 10,000 credits. So as you can see, just copy your API. That is all. So the pricing for this is in a month you're giving 16.5 for $10 basically. 7,000 for $25 and all of that. So that is how it works for this, as you can see. So this is how the pricing for this looks like, and this is the monthly plan. For the annual plan, just like I said before, it's much more cheaper than that. And these are all the old details that you get with it. So let's go back to it. So that's how we got the API key for that. And then what we want to do is we want to convert URL, like I said, URL is to PDF. So basically mine is URL, like the link to URL. So there are so many other actions you can take from here. You can split PDF, convert to PDF, convert from PDF. Let's say you convert PDF to any other thing. So many things. Actually, this is actually a really cool stuff that one can use for, especially when you have the 30 days free plan with 10,000 credits. I feel it's actually very cool stuff to use, and I feel the pricing is okay based on what I say. Like I feel it's actually very okay. So for that that is on that part. So yes, that's for that. So URL to PDF like we chose before, and then the next thing we want to do after we've chosen URL, convert type to URL to PDF. Since it doesn't that, I'm either take for URL to PDF, HTML to PDF, HTML to PDF. So we're using URL to PDF. And then you are the web page URL is this. You can choose any of this one or this one. Both of them are the same link actually. So and that is this. And then you execute your step. So I just want to wait a few minutes because I don't know why it's behaving like that. So I'll stop it in a few minutes. I'm sure by the time that I'll refresh it. So yeah, as you can see that is done. The next thing we need to do is the Gmail. That's after you converted it to PDF, then you send it into your Gmail accounts. So individual Gmail accounts for that. So we have the message, we have the send, and then who are we sending it to? You drag and you go back to your Airtable, and then the email address here, you drag it here, and then your subjects. I just like for example, your 1 week academic certificate is ready. You can put it in that, and then the email tag can be HTML or text. I use HTML just to make the thing look much more okay. So this is how it looks like. Nothing really fancy or anything like that. So I dragged the URL that was being generated on this PDF code. So I dragged it here in the sense that once you click on that link, it will take you to download your PDF, and that is it. So very easy. So let me show you how the markdown looks like. um, the HTML part. So it looks something like this. So you click on this download the certificate, and then once you're done with that, download automatically. So you have to download it. So let me just show you how it looks like. Once you send the mail address. So now let me go back to the email address folder so I can show you how it looks like. So yeah, as you can see, congrats, this is how it looks like. So once I click on download your certificates, as you can see, this is how it looks like. And what I just need to do is click on this download button, and that's all. Yeah, all right. So let's start with the second example, so which I've explained before. So after opening it, you go to open the editor. I've created this one already, so I'm going to show you how it looks like based on how it is. So this is just like a general example of how the template is. I've already explained how we created how to create a template and everything. So I use this from a template under social media, like a Twitter post. So the only thing I changed is this image. The only thing I changed this image was I changed the name, I changed the username, and I changed the vector. If this is the vector here, that was I added this vector, it wasn't there before. And then the image I changed it. So for you to actually upload image and all that, so all you need to do is it comes like this, but you can add it. If you want to add to it, you go to image that you add in placeholder. So and then if however I want it to look like, that's how it to be. So for this one here, if I want to place this image here, all I just need to do is go to replace, and then if it's on your let's say your system, your laptop, or your phone, or whatever you're using, you go to from uploads. But if it's from gallery, that means from the template itself, they have their specific gallery. Like let me show you all these images here. Then you can update from you can replace it from their gallery, but mine was from uploads, so that's the reason why it's like so. If I go to upload here, you can see some of the images that I've uploaded already. I'm waiting for it to load so I can show you. So you can see some of the I've only uploaded two at the moment, as you can see, just these two. So this was the one I used for it, and then I added the name, the handle, and then this vector was I got it from here. So you just search for whichever vector you want, maybe blue tick, whichever vector you want to use for it, and that was what I used. So in this template, the only thing I am changing is this text here. Only this text. That's the only thing I am changing. Aside from that, nothing else. So I don't need any other thing. So as you can see, the text is text. That's everything I'm changing from it. Apart from that, nothing else. So that's the only thing. So when I'm creating changing the text on Airtable, I just need to make sure that okay, I am changing this thing to text. Apart from that, nothing else. So let's go back to our n8n to see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. We have a schedule node that runs every day by 9 a.m. and then we have a messaging model. I could have used an agent, but for me to use an agent, there have to be an input. But I'm not using any input. I'm using a trigger node for it. That is a schedule trigger. So I had to use a messaging model. If I'm using like an agent, there is no user input. You are not using a Telegram message for this. We're only using the Telegram endpoint. That is to send a photo message, and that is also in your own time. If you're starting with a chat or something, or then you can use an agent or whatever it is. But because I'm using I'm just want to use only the message model, that's the reason why I chose Gemini for this. So to get to Gemini API, you just need to go to Google Cloud API. Yeah, if I'm to be sure. Yeah, Google AI Studio. Sorry, Google AI Studio. To get your API key, you just follow the process there, and then you'll get it. So once you get it, you input your API key, and that is it. And then you choose your model. The operation is messaging model because I want the model to actually compose something for me. So the model is Gemini 2.5. If I'm using more than that, let's say I'm using the more expensive one, then I'll need to pay because the one I'm using right now is free. So I can't go for older models like 2.5 Pro and all that. No, but because it's free, that's why I'm eligible for 2.5 Flash. And then the I guess that is actually all. Yeah, for the user input, since it's not user input, so it can be deleted and all that. So the only thing I needed to do is the system message, and this is how the system message look like. Generate a unique inspiring 1 to 2 sentence quote about AI automation. Focus on practical benefits, production, productivity gains, business transformation, future of work, or innovation. The quote must be factual and realistic, no hype or exaggeration. Actionable. So basically, this is how it looks like for that. So once I run that now, but as little I run that, I should schedule the trigger and then we use this to generate. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. The outputs, the automation transform workflow by optimizing routine tasks, enabling teams to redirect. So basically, that is just the output for that. So the next thing we need to do is input this into templated.com, template.io. I've already explained how to set this up. So there's no need. So all you just do is run it. It's still the same. All you just need to do is change the text. Like I said, layer name has to be the same thing as the one in your template, which is text, and then you drag this output for the model into here, and that is it. That's the only thing we're changing for it. And you can change your format if you don't want it to be PNG. It can be JPG or maybe your PDF, whichever one you want. But for this, I'll be using PNG for this. So execute it and completed. So the next thing we want to do is to send the image to Telegram. So since we're not using we're not starting with a Telegram trigger. So the first thing you need to do is go to um input our access token. And how do you get your access token from Telegram? One of the first things you need to do is go to your Telegram account, search for bot further, that is at bot further, and then you start the chat. That means with a use do you follow the process, they'll tell you how to go about it. For the process of sending it, starting a chat, then you send a command, and then you choose your bot name, whichever bot you want to use. You choose your bot name, and then once that is done, you'll be given your access token. It's not something that is hard like that. Like I said, you just go to our bot further, that is at then bot then further botfhthar, and then you follow the whole process there and you build in your bots. Then immediately you get your access token from there and you input it here, and that is it. So the next thing we want to do is message send photo, because we want to convert this URL to photo, send photo. And then how do we get this chat ID? Because if you were starting from a chat trigger, you would already have a chat ID, so all you have to do is drag and drop. But because you are not starting from that, you need to actually get this chat ID. So how do we do that? Let me show you how I got the chat ID without a chat trigger. So all I did was use an HTTP node. Let me show you. Yeah, and then all I did was I used get, and then for the URL, all I did was input this. Let me show you how it looks like. As you can see, all I did was input this. So I said http.api.telegram.org.bot. So in this place where you have your bot, this your access token. Yeah, you remove it. That is from here like this, and then you input your access token. So let me show you how that works, just so you can understand it better. Let me input this here. Let me delete this, and then we have the okay, then our URL. So now let me get my access token that I can put here, so you see how it works. Okay, so I've gotten the access token here, so I'll just input it here, and that is all. So let's execute step. So yeah, as you can see, all this information is not actually there. The only thing I need is this chat ID here. This is this here, and that is all. So the reason why I use all this whole process was just to get this chat ID. Alright, so basically that is everything that we need for that. So that's how you can get um your chat ID without using your Telegram trigger for that. So I'll actually drop this request in the description. so you can be able to use it in case you also want to do the same thing, or you have, let's say, other times when you want to do something similar. You can just use this to get your chat ID. So I'll delete that now. The only thing is that I don't need this HTTP request. The only reason why I needed it was to get the ID. But in case any of that in my pop up, you can still leave this HTTP request there. But for me, I don't need it, so I'm going to delete it. So that is all. Then next thing I want to do is to send the picture to so after you copy your chat ID, you just put it there. Then you drop your URL. You can, like I said, you can use any of this URL, this or this. So I chose this, dropped it here, and that's it. Then I execute step, and it is gone. So just to be sure that everything went well, let me show you. So this is what we should be expecting on the image. AI automation transform workflows by optimized within tasks. And then if I should go to my Telegram, waiting for the image to load so you can see it. So it's something that you can schedule every day. So every day you keep seeing images like this. I will be specifically sent to you, and then you can all just really download it, and that is all. So yeah, this is the image. As you can see here, automation transformers, blah 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 blah, and then you have what you need to. All you just need to do is just download it in your or whatever system, maybe your system, your phone, or whatever it is, and then you upload it on whichever social media you want to do that. And if you have what would I call it, like social media where you just want to connect it, post it automatically, like to your Twitter, um your Instagram, or whatever social media you have, immediately you can just post it there. That means run an automation that can post it. And if you want to have a better idea of how that one runs, you can just look at my previous video where I explain how you can do that on Instagram. So basically that's how you do the whole thing. So if you have any question, or you want something like this, you can just send me a message, and I'll be there to answer it and put you through on that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification on more videos. Thank you.